blame, you net it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Taking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA, coming to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm also joined by my co-host with the most, and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you today?
Doing amazing. Happy to be here with all you guys. What's up, everyone?
Awesome. Yes, LA, I think we're coming off the awesome hype that we had yesterday. We had a very special AMA with the L1X team. We actually were able to live stream that AMA on our YouTube channel as well. So the video right before this one, it was a bit of an impromptu live stream, but there is a recording of that, and we dropped a ton of alpha that we will recap today in this AMA. And we've been busy. LA's been super busy with some new videos that kind of educate you on Fusion. And I had an AMA, the very, very beginning stages of our marketing for Fusion with Chris Farrell's group. A lot of you might remember Chris from the original Academy, and he has his own group over on Facebook. I know a lot of you have come from that group, so welcome. If you're listening again tonight, it was a pleasure speaking to all of you earlier today. And again, we're educating people slowly but surely on why Fusion is going to be so powerful, and it's always awesome to reconnect with Chris Farrell's group. So shout out to all of you. All right, awesome. Very productive day. LA, I think we're gonna just go right into some updates on the L1 DEX, unless there's anything you want to lead off with.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, awesome. So we had a great recap yesterday. Again, please watch that video if you have not already. But we made some official announcements in that AMA where it is finally official. We will be using the L1X token as the reward token on the DEX itself. And this is extremely bullish for many reasons. First of all, it's one of the only exchanges that has this economic model. And the idea is that, typically when you provide LP on these sort of liquidity, or when you provide liquidity or LP, again, sorry, sometimes I use terms and assume people know what it means. But typically you're rewarded for providing LP on either an AMM or other exchanges, and then that LP is used again to create deep liquidity on the exchange itself. So in return, you're given what typically is a reward token, and that reward token is usually highly inflationary, very speculative, and there really isn't a lot of use case for that reward token other than selling it. And a great example, again, would be the cake token on PancakeSwap. That token has had a ton of volatility, and, the APRs on LP rewards, especially on PancakeSwap, have only continued to kind of diminish, as well as a lot of other AMM style dexes, because there's no support for that reward token. Now, by using the native asset of the chain, we solve a lot of potential issues. So, number one, it's non-inflationary. So again, we're not minting additional tokens to prop up the rewards. And it's also, again, the native token of the chain. So there'll be a ton of use case for what you're earning. So the chances are is that you really don't want to sell that token for many reasons. One is that you can use it for gas. Another reason would be, speculating that the price of L1X will go up over time, like many layer ones do. There will also be validators and other single staking options for L1X as well. Again, to yield. We always talk about, trying to have tokens that produce yield for you. That's how people accumulate the most wealth. So, all that being said, it's really exciting. And even if, I know we had some confusion in the comments last night, even if LP providers were to sell their L1X, that is still a net positive on the buying pressure of L1X. So, because we're using a real yield model, which means all the LP rewards will eventually come from fees that are generated from the exchange itself. That's buying pressure on L1X. And if somebody swaps, say two non-native assets. So say they're swapping, Ethereum to Avalanche or AVAX token. A portion of that will be used from the fee to buy L1X. So it is a net positive result. And even if 100% of everybody dumped their rewards, it would still be net neutral. So that all being said, we feel like it will help the price appreciation of L1X moving forward. And again, that's not financial advice, but we're really excited for what could happen. So, and again, with that real yield model, PancakeSwap and Uniswap and all the big boys, they don't share any of their revenue with LP providers. They keep it for themselves. I mean, the fees alone, again, on PancakeSwap, it's about $400,000 a day, and on Uniswap, it's about $1 million a day in fees that are generated. And I can tell you, a lot of those are not going to be going into the LP providers. They go into the pockets of, those DEX owners. So all of that shapes up for an amazing future. LA, anything you want to add to that? Or
Yeah.
any questions? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, question for you. From what you recall, has this ever been done before where there hasn't been a secondary token used?
No, I mean, this is absolutely revolutionary. Again, to my knowledge, I don't know anybody that is doing this. So, again, to make a comparison, it would be like, with PancakeSwap, instead of rewarding you in cake, you're actually getting rewarded in BNB. So, again, that's the analogy. But yeah, I've never heard of
Mhm.
this, and it's another
Sure.
reason why it's so bullish.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to add is just as an emperor, one of your biggest advantages and secret weapons is that you constantly get to be exposed to new opportunities with things that have literally never been done before, whether it's fusion, whether it's L1 Dex and everything coming with L1X, and the handful of other things we're about to throw at you. You constantly get to be exposed to opportunities to get involved in things that have literally never been done before. We're breaking ground here on brand new things, and what's coming with L1X is going to change the entire environment in crypto. So there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, LA. And again, I think the community is really starting to wake up to all this. And finally, again, that light bulb moment why we get so excited is that we can see what's coming. So, and to kind of bring it full circle, what does this mean for EMP? Well, again, based on the fees and even our conservative, projections. I mean, we we think that we can get a large portion of the market share, but we obviously know that will take time and building relationships. So we're doing very conservative projections of literally about 1% of market share, and L1X or L1 Dex using the L1X technology, it will sell itself. It will be a much safer, cheaper, more capital efficient and more rewarding way of doing things. And that word of that travels fast. In other words, if you don't have exposure to a bridge, you don't risk getting exploited. The interoperability on using or allowing you to have access to native assets, no matter what the chain, all doing that again without a bridge and having APRs that what we feel will be the best on the market. Again, we didn't drop that alpha last night, but Jake and the DexFi team have figured out a infrastructure of setting this up where we could see literally 5 to 10x APR on blue chip assets than what you're used to. Again, I mean, even Uniswap providing LP for, say, ETH USDC LP pair. I mean, you're lucky if you're earning 4 or 5%. We feel like we can again 5 to 10x that, if not more. And again, that will draw in the users and the LP providers. And once they're exposed to L1X and L1 Dex on how that technology is far superior, they're not going to leave. And so we can scale very fast doing that. And we always say the best form of advertising is high rewards and green candles, and that will all hopefully happen as we launch. And one last point to that, and Ellie, I'd love to hear you elaborate.
Yeah.
One last point is, we're doing this. The APR may actually go up over time because we are using that real yield model where the more volume that the DEX does, the more fees that are generated, and therefore the more rewards that go to LP providers. So that again is unheard of, where LP rewards actually go up over time rather than a race to get out. And that's again, there's so many I could go on and on and on, but typically when LP rewards are very juicy like this, you don't want to tell other people about providing LP because it dilutes you. But if the APR is actually going up rather than down, I mean, it's a win-win for everybody. So it's a much better solution in our opinion. And again, it's really something that I think will turn a lot of heads and get a lot of eyeballs on us. So go ahead, Ella. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say it sells itself, but it also won't have to. AJ and I have been cooking up some pretty damn juicy marketing plans this week. And there's a major opportunity to do things in a way that we haven't necessarily done before, and expand on what we have been doing in a different way. I'm not going to go over what those plans are right now because I don't really want to give them away before we implement them for a specific reason. But we've already been cooking all of that up, and we'll start implementing them quite a while before the actual launch. So the word will be spreading long before the actual launch, and we're already working on that now.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. Again, we always have something up our sleeves, and we alluded to this on the AMA last night as well. The other incredible part in terms of adoption is we will be able to offer SDKs, which stands for Standard Development Kits. And this is a preset bit of code that that exchanges on other chains are able to implement, and then they have access to the liquidity of the L1 DEX. And this is again super super bullish because we're able to foster the adoption of the DEX without having any negative impact to other DEXs. Again, typically, with traditional LP pools, they have to be on the DEX itself. So in other words, like with EMP, all of our liquidity is on PancakeSwap. So if you go to try to buy EMP or eShare on a different AMM, you're not going to be able to, or you're going to get killed on price impact because there is no liquidity. Well, these DEXs now on other chains will be able to utilize our DEX, have access to that LP, and potentially earn rewards for doing so. So now, you're not competing with these DEXs, you're actually incentivizing them to join the L1 DEX and further deepen the liquidity on a protocol to protocol level, which, I mean, again, it's going to scale really fast, I think. And, we may end up getting to a point where we have so much liquidity that it doesn't make sense to, continue to push so hard. And in that sort of situation, we start, accumulating LP to provide our own LP. And then that is where we get into the territory of how it comes back to EMP. So again, with DexFi and EMP being the two development teams and community teams behind the L1 Dex, we will absolutely get a portion of that volume back to us. And that will all be in the white paper. We have a whole spreadsheet on how the fees are calculated. And again, LA and I will work on that in the next few weeks. It's already, pretty much done. It's just putting it into a pretty format. But again, the idea is that why do you care as an emperor? Is because again, this will be a massive revenue stream for EMP and therefore Fusion for rewards that are paid out in Fusion for potential support on EMP and eShare itself. Bolstering the DOS contracts. I mean, the sky is the limit on what we can do with that massive revenue. So, yeah, absolutely. I know it was a lot to take in, but LA, did we miss anything or any other points from last night that you want me to elaborate on?
I feel like that was a really bullish recap, so I think we're good on that.
All right, awesome. And yeah, there is no date at this point. Obviously it depends on the launch of L1X itself. But we're already moving forward. I mean, DexFi, Jake with DexFi, they already have this pretty much built. I mean, the only thing we have to do is incorporate the interoperability part of it, and that's what the L1X tech is, providing for us. But we will, over the next few weeks, along with the white paper, we'll have demonstrations of this working. I mean, again, it's just a matter of implementing the branding. I mean, the infrastructure and the wireframe of the DEX is already there from what the DEX team has built. So, well, please follow our socials. Again, it's L1Dex. We're on Discord, we're on Telegram, we're on Twitter, and that'll be a great way to keep in the loop. And obviously, EMP will be covering all of it as well. But it's good that you are part of both communities. So, all right, awesome. All right, LA, any other questions with that before we move on, or you want to wait till the very end for Q&A?
Yeah, I think we can move on to our next topic.
All right, so I know all of you are really excited for the secret project. I was hoping to have some info today, but we really want it to be a surprise. And I know that it will. I know we need to give at least a few days for everyone to get prepared. But again, we are literally within days of launching. So it is a secret project on Pulse Chain. We talked about it in depth on the AMA on Monday, but it will be a very lucrative protocol under the Impulse umbrella that will provide the infrastructure for what we need with Impulse. So again, Pulse Chain is so new that there is not a lot of infrastructure on Pulse. So and that if that infrastructure is not there, then that means we have to build it. And so again, it really hasn't taken away a lot of development time. And this will be a massive use case for EMP and eShare, and again, give you exposure to Pulse and Pulse X as we start the process of launching Impulse. So I'm not ready to give any more alpha than that, but if you are interested, it will be very soon. And again, this could be another way to earn in the meantime before we release Fusion. So again, really exciting stuff. LA, I don't know if there's anything else we can say without giving too much, but yeah, go ahead.
I get scared to talk about this
I
because
know.
I'm afraid that I'm
Yeah, I did the same
um,
thing. On the AMA on Monday, if you listen to it, I know a lot of people have already been speculating. I caught myself in the middle of a little bit of it. So, yeah, no doubt. Well, I won't put you on the spot, but it will be, again, something that is not only needed and, has a great uh, product market fit, but again, it will provide the infrastructure for Impulse. And, I know a lot of you have been pressuring us to launch Impulse as a traditional two fork or seigniorage protocol, but the whole idea is that we actually want to launch Impulse as a fusion clone, and that will make things way more sustainable, especially launching it that way from the very beginning, before, a lot of the native token is in circulation. And I think, we could see incredible results with a fusion from scratch over on Pulse. So, and remember, again, we talk about it a lot under the EMP umbrella or EMP mothership. All of the protocols that we end up releasing under that mothership, they all come back and feed EMP. So there will be a portion of fees rather than going to developers like typically happens in these protocols. And don't get me wrong, there may still be developer fees associated with some of the other contracts, but the majority of the rewards go directly back to EMP or people that participate in that protocol. So, all right, I think that is a great overview of the secret pulse chain project. And we will be again once we're 100% ready to go. We'll do a special AMA if we have to on off day if it's not a Monday or a Thursday. We'll have breaking news when that's ready. So and again, it pretty much is. We're doing some last minute testing along with Fusion, um, but we're closer than ever. So all right, and that leads right into Fusion. Again, every single day we are building. I mean, we're in multiple meetings a week, if not daily, in the developer chat. And, all I can say is the team is working, and there's nothing that I could do to make them work faster. It's just something we have to work through. So, again, LA, anything specific on Fusion that we can update or I don't know. Again, we're still in kind of just a build mode. So
yeah, it is a little tricky for us to give new information at this point because we kind of have gotten you guys up to date. There's just a lot of building in the background and testing mainly at this point to just get us that little bit over the finish line that last little bit we're waiting for. But everything's going extremely well. I haven't seen any reports of any major issues or anything. Everything's going as expected. And so it's just about getting over that finish line, getting that last little bit of the way there. So
Totally.
really that's all there is to say at this point.
Yeah, no, 100%. And again, I mean, there are a lot of moving parts. Not only the smart contract work, but then the engineers that wire it all up, basically, and then the front end work as well. Remember, it's also a complete redesign of the EMP website, so it's a lot at once. And yes, we have development help, but Jake, our lead developer, obviously he has to go over everything with a fine-tooth comb as well to ensure that there wasn't any mistakes or there's no exploits, and we have the track record to back that up where we've never had any downtime, we've never had an exploit. And again, if that means we have another week of testing, or even another few weeks of testing, that is what we have to do to make it work. And again, admittedly, we may have talked about fusion a little bit too soon. Knowing what we know now, I would have really kept it internal to not really get people, feel like, we're delayed. But until we announce a date, we're not delayed. It's just we are not comfortable giving a date because that date is what we will stick to 100%, come hell or high water. So, all right, I think we've talked about that. Again, I think it's a great, accumulation phase still. Based on today's prices, with Ethereum pumping, you're getting almost a 5x on the EMP that you buy today to sacrifice into Fusion. And we're able to do that because we're so confident that we will return to PEG. And it's essentially a futures contract or a future price honoring contract as we get back to PEG. And I know a lot of people say, well, how are you able to do that? We're not. This is not something indefinite. It's based on where we are at the current moment. So everybody that's buying EMP today, you are the ones that are getting the largest multiplier. And as PEG goes back up, you will get less and less of that spread to PEG, therefore less of the incentive, or again, there's incentive no matter what, but less of the multiplier on that value. So, LA, you want to elaborate on that really fast? I know there's still some confusion, and you have a great job of breaking it down a little more simply.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, when everything is still low, is the very best opportunity because it's when you're going to be able to maximize the multiplier. But as we get closer and closer to PEG, that multiplier becomes less and less because the opportunity is a 1-to-1 ratio at the dollar value of PEG. So it makes sense that as we get closer to PEG, you're getting less and less of a bonus because we're getting closer to where we're crediting you at. And so you want, well, not financial advice, but you want to purchase when we're lower and farther away from PEG so that you can get more of a bonus, because if you purchase when we're already on our way up, you're going to get less of that bonus. That's kind of in its simplified form.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. Awesome. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if you want to add more, but yeah, no, that was perfect. And again, I mean, obviously we can't have that large of a multiplier indefinitely. The money has to come from somewhere, and that's why it's solely based on PEG. And because of this mechanism, it incentivizes arbitrage on PEG, meaning, when we finally do recover PEG, this sacrifice will be going on indefinitely. So when we recover peg, even if we go down, say, even a cent below peg, which I think we're going to have a lot tighter of a range with everything that we are implementing with Fusion, but just for demonstration purposes, if we go below peg, 1 cent, um, you are incentivized to buy EMP off the market and get that little bit of a multiplier by sacrificing rather than going into Fusion directly. And so over time, it's a much better alternative to bonds because typically in seigniorage protocols, you buy a bond hoping that you get back to peg and you get above peg to where you can redeem those bonds for a bonus. Well, that model is flawed in many ways, but typically, if you never get back to peg, then those bonds are useless. And in the meantime, you have to sit on those bonds and not earn anything, in terms of yield, until you are back at peg or over peg. So uh, that's again this um, this model is basically an instant bond where you don't have to wait for anything. You just buy when we're below peg. That helps push the price of EMP up and get us back to peg. And you're getting rewarded because you're getting a bit of a bonus by sacrificing that into Fusion as well. And again, we are crediting bonds as well 1 to 1. So even now, bonds could be a great option for you getting ready for EMP Fusion. So again, none of this is financial advice. Um, it's up to all of you on how you play the game, so to speak. You're the ones pressing the buttons, and we're not managing anybody's funds for them. No expectation of profit from the work of others. We're simply, putting code on the internet, and we're excited for what's coming. I mean, again, I think a lot of you have already been brainstorming on the optimal strategies and the best way to get the most value out of Fusion moving forward, for sure. All right, awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that, LA, before we have one more topic and then we can go into questions.
No, I think we're good.
All right, so the last topic here is the topic I get most excited about, and that is money. We are killing it with our revenue stream. So we have one that we've been testing for going on another month now. We have about 3 months of data, and I have about 6 months, almost a year of data personally. But one of the revenue streams for EMP has been doing extremely well, especially with all the market volatility that we've seen. Um, Fusion itself is a revenue stream. Again, the NFT marketplace, as well as the batteries and all the BB and E, buyback and earn, all of that will be subject to a 3% tax. And that tax, again, nobody likes taxes, but that tax doesn't go to us. It doesn't go to anybody but the rewards of Fusion. So if you're, as long as you're in Fusion, you're getting all of that back as rewards in the energy that is earned. So that is a huge revenue stream all on its own as well. And the L1 DEX again is that other revenue stream that again could potentially be literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. And just imagine the APR in Fusion, and how valuable the microgrids will become when that amount of rewards is getting pumped back into the ecosystem and all the cash out batteries, all of that. So again, it could be massive, and it may take a while, but I think that's very doable over the long run, and that will further incentivize new users. Hopefully, we have a bit of a bull run later this year. I think it's already begun. I never thought we'd see 30K BTC this soon. That's a great time, especially after all the FUD that we had not even 2 weeks ago, to be hitting, new local all-time highs. That's huge. And so, I think we'll see a retracement over the next few weeks. But I absolutely think we see real all-time highs by the end of the year, upwards of 60,000 bucks per BTC. Who knows? Maybe even we break that, coveted 100K, and the market will follow. And there is also some really bullish info on BlackRock, hopefully getting approved for their ETF. I mean, that if that happens, we could potentially see a 10x in the entire market cap of crypto. Again, that that could 100x the price of every token in existence if that happened. So, there's just so many amazing things on the horizon. I do get a little bit overhyped sometimes. I'm a perma bull, but I love the space, and I think, we're all here so early, and Fusion and EMP, and everything that we build, will be here for the long run. And the more time that we are here, the more potential gains that we can have. So, all right, I'll get off my soapbox. But LA, anything you want to add to that? Go ahead.
No, I'm just as excited as you are. I think this is such a great moment where we're just right at that calm before the storm. I feel it brewing. I don't know about you guys, but we've been waiting for such a long time for so many of these pieces to come together, and we're right at that moment where a few different things are going to come together very shortly here. And on top of that, the market is due to recover shortly here as well. And it can only mean good things ahead. So,
Yeah, could not agree more. Again, the trifecta, or the stars are aligning. I know we say that a lot, and I get it. Like, trust me, nobody wants fusion here more than I do, and I know it's frustrating to have to keep, hearing us say it's coming. But there's literally nothing, I can do, other than just continue to help the devs where we can, keep everybody engaged, work on other, again, opportunities like the secret project that's coming, to actually keep everybody earning as long as we can until Fusion is ready.
So on that note, I did just finish recording all the voiceovers for the first 6 videos of the Fusion explainer videos. I thought you guys would be happy to know that I'm doing the voice on them because you guys are always asking for that. So
yes, no doubt. Everybody
I thought I
loves
would
your
give the
voice,
people
LA.
what they want.
Yeah, give them what they want. Exactly.
So so I just finished that the last 2 days. So the next step is sending them off to get the video part done. So that's exciting stuff. And yeah, so that, I mean, there's some progress being made there, and we're going to be working on the next version of the white paper as well in the next couple days. So that's exciting as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I know we had talked about that on Monday. We're still, again, in the updated white paper, we want to make sure that we have, as much info as we can in there. So we're actually going to go through it with the dev team line by line, on what we're able to update. Again, actual formulas on how things are calculated. So as soon as we get the okay from the dev team, we'll be able to release the updated version of the white paper as well. So keep an eye out for that. It will be updated on our GitHub, on the website. You can find the one now through all of our docs. So yeah, great stuff.
For sure. All right, a couple questions for you.
All
The
right.
first one we We did go over it on Monday, but if you don't mind recapping it again, will there be a referral program for Fusion?
Yes, so as of right now, the answer is no. Again, I've said this many times, but with referral programs, they can be great for adoption, but the money has to come from somewhere, and if that means less rewards for people that are in Fusion, I don't think that's fair. And so the idea is that we want to make it as profitable as possible to be in Fusion, bolster those APRs as high as we can get them, and that will be the you know that will be the referral program, meaning other people will talk about Fusion when we offer these incredible APRs. It's just human nature to want to share those gains with others. So we don't necessarily have to reward that uh, monetarily. Now, that being said, we have some other really interesting ideas where we can do some sort of an affiliate program. It wouldn't necessarily be rewards directly, but we're able to incentivize people in other ways for sharing, you know, Fusion with their community. So, again, we'll elaborate more on that when Fusion is live. But we're big believers in rewarding, people that support us. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean a percentage of what they bring in. It still makes it lucrative for them. So, yeah, the short answer is no. The longer answer is uh, maybe some sort of a incentive that is different than what you maybe typically are used to. If you have a large YouTube following or a large community, just keep in touch with us as we get closer to the launch.
Awesome. So you won't be able to answer this directly because that would be financial advice, but
Okay,
I'm sure you
yes.
cook up an answer of some sort. How much should we save for Fusion to invest?
Yeah, no doubt. So again, I would love to be able to answer that directly, but yeah, I mean that is really a very personal decision. I mean, again, I don't know, what your risk tolerance is. I don't know what your financial situation is. So that is something that you have to decide on your own. What I can say is, I think it's very smart to never invest more than you can afford to either lose or not have access to for a while. I think there is this overarching, stigma in crypto where people think this is a get rich quick, opportunity, or they unfortunately try to invest in short-term plays. Or their rent money, hoping that they can double or triple it, and that is where it becomes gambling. And we're building a platform here that truly is decentralized finance, where it's not gambling. If you believe in us and believe in the protocol, and we can deliver on everything that we said we were, there is opportunity here. And, you know, I just, again, I think that that's a very personal decision, and never ever invest more than you can afford to lose, or you're not up at night. That's another thing. Some people overinvest, and they're up at night, worried about their returns. That is probably a good sign that you have too much invested. And we would much rather have educated investors at EMP than those that just want to get in and get out. So again, none of that's financial advice, and we, no expectation of profit from the work of others. But yeah, LA, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, but yeah.
No, I completely agree. You have to ask yourself what feels right for you, and it's very difficult for us to give you a number. But what we can say is that for the sacrifice, the most preferred position to be in is to have EMP and eShare available, if not LP and eShare. And
Yeah,
so there's an opportunity to continue earning in our farms through exposure to EMP ETH LP and eShare all the way up until the Fusion launch. And that's a great opportunity to keep earning so that you have whatever your maximum amount is to then sacrifice into Fusion.
Yeah, no doubt. And one more point I wanted to make about that, LA. We discussed the that peg multiplier. Again, if you're buying EMP at this very moment, it's almost a 5x to peg. Again, as peg gets closer, that will be less and less. But we are planning on doing a early sacrifice bonus as well. So once we finally announce the sacrifice phase, we will be giving a bonus. Again, don't hold me to this, but we'll have it in the white paper before we launch. But the initial idea is every 24 hours. So again, everybody around the world has the same opportunity. Every 24 hours, the multiplier bonus will go down by a certain percentage. So that means that on day one. And again, everybody will be prepared for this. It won't be like tomorrow we say, oh, Fusion's launching and the sacrifice is tomorrow. That won't happen. We'll have a runway for everybody. But on that first day, that will be your largest multiplier bonus on the sacrificing as well. So, that gets people involved into Fusion as soon as possible. And again, we can prepare for what is eventually coming. So that's not financial advice. And if you would rather wait and see, how things turn out, that's fine. And you'll be able to enter Fusion later on, but you will not be getting the bonus that everybody that believes in the protocol will be getting. So yeah, LA, again, anything on that as well?
No, I think you got it there. And just like a follow-up, Mail is asking as well how much EMP and eShare we should keep liquid. It's a very similar answer to, what we've just been saying. It's, we can't really give an exact answer to that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Awesome. I see a few more in the chat as well, LA. I don't know if you have others on your list or if you want me to go through the chat. But one right now I can answer is, does L1 DEX belong to EMP or to L1X? So the L1 DEX doesn't belong to anybody, and that is the beauty of decentralized finance. Again, we are releasing code into the interwebs, and it's up to you to participate in that or not. So there is no ownership. DEX, Phi, and EMP, we're part of the team, but the team's responsibility is to foster the protocol. It doesn't mean that we, own the protocol. And so this is really important, again, from many perspectives, but it is a headless DEX, which again means other DEXs are able to plug in to it. Anybody is able to provide LP, and it's our job as a team just to build out the code and to raise awareness of that opportunity. So. Yeah, really good question. And again, all of you, just like EMP, all of you are owners. And that's the amazing point of DeFi and crypto in general, is that rather than the big banks and the large financial institutions that pay, $1 million CEO salaries and have, thousands of employees and, giant high-rise buildings in New York and major cities around the world, all of that is wasted capital that in DeFi, all of those expenses go to all of you rather than the man, so to speak. So that's why I get so excited about DeFi in general as well. As we move forward in the crypto space. So, all right, go ahead, Ellie. Was there more that you had?
For sure. I've just been working through the ones in the chat. So, has the wallet for L1X been released yet? And if not, when will it be available? And how do you check our token balance from the pre-sale?
Yes, so again, a lot of info with that. We didn't release too much. That was what we ended with on the AMA last night, because the wallet is a whole different animal, and I gotta be careful what I say. I do have some info on what they've been building with the wallet, and I don't even know if we can call it a wallet because it has more features than I have ever seen with any wallet out there. And so this will really help adoption. It will be a lot more user friendly. There will be a lot more functionality in it. And so I don't want to spill the beans on that. But we will be giving an update about the wallet itself. And just it'll be extremely beneficial to not only the DEX, but to everybody that uses it as well. So yeah, again, I don't want to say too much, but the wallet will be coming. Again, hopefully, it will be ready upon launch date, and maybe even sooner. Maybe there'll be a test version of the wallet, and you can check your token balance on the website. You should be able to type in your wallet address on L1X dot foundation, I believe it is. Again, forgive me, I don't remember that URL off the top of my head, but on their actual website, you'll be able to check that as well as interact on their testnet. They have a fully functioning testnet that you can experiment with as well. And if all that fails, I would open a ticket in their Discord. So make sure that you join the L1X Discord. Um, they're very active over there. So yeah, is that anything I didn't answer in that, LA?
Yeah, there's a lot of different questions like that are specific about L1X in the chats right now. So just make sure that you are a part of the L1X Discord and that you are asking a lot of different questions in there if you have a lot of questions, because they're very helpful in there and eager to answer your questions, and they'll be able to dive deep into L1X specific questions about when certain things are being released and that kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. And I know one more question I see a lot, and again, we've had multiple meetings over the last week with the L1X team, hours on end. So we don't get to everything in those meetings, but we have a follow-up meeting with the L1X public sale. So I know that a lot of you were asking about that on the last AMA and now on this AMA. So yeah, the whole idea is that we have to tie up some loose ends, but we are hoping that we can offer an option for the L1X public sale through EMP all over again, like we did for the private sale. So again, no official announcement on that. Please definitely register on the Discord if you are interested. That will help, and hopefully within the next week or two, we'll have an update on those of you that want to get in. And I also saw one more question. Again, maybe drop a little alpha here on a L1X battery. So, yeah, I mean, that would definitely be in the works. If you wanted to take profit from your microgrid into L1X, then you could absolutely have an L1X battery. And that is just continued buying pressure on L1X as well. So again, a lot of synergies that are coming together. So again, sorry for the background noise. If it's not Birdie or my son Abel, it's the dog. So, but yeah, all of that's coming. So, go ahead, LA. Yep.
There was another question about whether there would be an affiliate program for the DEX.
Yeah, so again, most likely no. All the rewards will be for the LP providers. But again, never say never. There may be some creative ways that we can offer incentives. Um, but again, the DEX, as well as Fusion, I think that it really will sell itself, because not only is it the the safest, most efficient, lowest fees, largest liquidity and, shortest time to swap or, trade. I mean, when you invent a better solution than literally everything on the market, it just naturally, gravitates toward that. I mean, again, the iPhone is a great example. The iPhone is so popular because, when the original iPhone came out, it was just a better solution to the cell phone than anybody had ever seen. It had your music could be on it. It was very user friendly. It was basically having a computer in your pocket, and nobody at the time was able to compete with that. I think BlackBerry wasn't the only one, and that was extremely hard to use. And so Apple won that competition. So yeah, all right. Yeah, go ahead, LA. Sorry, I keep talking over you.
No, you're good. What will we cover in our next meeting on Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's about O1X. The ideas for that meeting, again, is how we're able to offer, access to the public sale. And so, again, no promises, but we'll do everything we can to help facilitate that.
For sure. Awesome. I think that's all I see for now.
Okay, yeah, I'm going back through as well. If there is any last minute questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm so bad at that. I'm not a good YouTuber, but yeah, that will help get the word out. And again, we were talking about revenue streams earlier. We didn't even talk about our own affiliate stream. So we're doing great with Spritz and those affiliate commissions. We're doing great with the YouTube revenue and a lot of our other affiliate links like Ledger and Trezor. So definitely make sure you check all those out. Yeah, go ahead, Ellie.
And just a little plug for Spritz. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's the second link in the video description. And if you are currently US based, you'll be able to use it. And in the future, sometime by the end of this year, they do plan to expand into other regions. But they have made things so much easier to pay your bills with crypto, to use a crypto based kind of like debit credit card, to even off ramp directly into your bank account. It's a great service, so I highly recommend checking into it. The link for EMP's affiliate is in our description of our video, so if you're going to sign up, do so through that link there.
Yeah, no doubt. And I know a lot of you that are a little more involved. Spritz did announce that they are starting to discontinue their affiliate program for average users. But we have a very great relationship with Spritz, and we are getting involved with them on a much deeper level. So they have committed to honoring that affiliate link for us. And moving forward, we're going to be even more involved with Spritz. Again, I don't want to drop too much alpha, but again, we have a chat set up with them where hopefully we can integrate some of the features directly into Fusion. So, all of that is super bullish for the future. And again, Ellen mentioned the debit card. Crypto-based debit card. We're looking into all those options for off ramps because with Fusion, profit taking does not hurt Peg. And that is another amazing way that Fusion is different from our current economic model. And that will help us grow, forever, we hope, and be a much more sustainable model moving forward. So, yeah, love Spritz. If you don't know what that is, definitely check it out. You will be blown away by what they're offering. So, all right, awesome. Well, yeah, I think today was very productive. We're right at the hour mark. which is great. I think the last AMA was a record short AMA. We did about a half an hour, but yeah, today we went over a lot. LA, anything else you want to add, or any last minute questions, and any wrap up comments? Go ahead.
Thank you guys for joining us. It means a lot to us that those of you who are dedicated and show up week after week to, be here to make sure you're up to date on all the details. Those names that pop up every week don't go unnoticed, and it shows that you're investing in your investment. And those of you who keep on top of everything are going to get ahead, because you're in the loop of what's going on, and you're, first to all that information. So I'm always glad to see familiar faces here and brand new faces as well. And so if you are new to our community, welcome. But I'm glad that all of you got an opportunity to be here tonight. We're always happy to see you, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday.
Absolutely, LA. I could not agree more. This community is what has made EMP different. We said from day one that our emperors and empresses will make this protocol what it is, and all of you have. And so again, this is still only the beginning. Even about a year and a half in, we're really poised for greatness. Especially with the sustainability upgrades that Fusion brings. And again, I made this analogy earlier today in the Chris Farrell AMA, but just imagine the end of this year when the bull run really kicks in. We see, a large influx of new users into crypto. Fusion will be out running flawlessly, for the last few months. And we have a track record of a doxed, project lead, trustworthy team. We give full transparency and updates, and we at that time will have been operating for 2 years in the DeFi space. Like all of that is unheard of in DeFi. So just imagine, all the new users that will get excited about EMP and Fusion. And the timing could not be better because that is when, all the eyeballs are back on crypto. And right now is the time to prepare for that influx. So, yeah, go ahead, Ella. You want to add to that? Yeah.
You know what you just made me realize? We just crossed over the 1.5 year mark officially.
Did we really? Holy cow. I didn't even mean to do that, but yeah, I think we did, right? Yeah.
This week, yeah, because
Wow.
it's the 22nd, so it must have been a couple days ago, I guess.
There you go. Well,
Right?
happy mid anniversary, I guess, right? Yeah. So, yeah. Awesome stuff. Well, again, I think that the future is bright here at EMP, and it's always great to have the love and support of all of you, and together we can really overcome anything. So, appreciate everybody's patience, and I can't wait to give you a final date. But in the meantime, we're gonna still build, and we'll come back on Monday with more updates as we go. Again, every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, all right, we'll cut it off there. So again, appreciate all of you. Good night, good day. We'll see you on Monday.